Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the channel. My name is Zach. This channel is mostly science fiction and fantasy book reviews, but once a week on these vlog catch up segment, I explore not just what I read, but also what I watched, the other forms of media that I consumed throughout the week. And to start things off, what I read is unfortunately, this is a very short segment this week because I didn't actually finish any books this week, which is rare for me. I'm usually a book a week person, usually can just get them through. But yes, I'm still working through the monster of the book that is Memories of Ice, Malazan, Book of the Fallen, Book 3 by Stephen Erikson. This is about a 43-hour book, audiobook. So it's a it's an epic tale of the Malazan Empire, Book 3. Really loving it. As of this evening, I just checked my status. I'm 70% done. So over the two-thirds mark, into the home stretch, bringing it all together to the storyline, and had a great time so far. Really, really enjoying Book 3 of Malazan. It's a lot of fun after a great first book and a still good but not quite as good second book. But book 3 is back, as I think I've talked about on this channel. It's back with the Bridge Burners, Whiskey Jack, Quick Ben. All of our favorites from the first book are back. Without being too spoiler, of course, because this is book 3, but yeah, they're back. Whiskey Jack is just being the great leader as he always is. Quick Ben, you're learning a lot about him so far. It's really, really cool. I love hearing a bit about Quick Ben's backstory, what's going on with him, and maybe some hints of his future involvement of everything that's going on in the Malazan Empire and the Malazan world. We've got some god stuff with the crippled god, Burn Sleep, what they're up to, how the Deck of Dragons is happening, how the Talane Mass are doing stuff. We have just so much stuff. I'm trying to I guess I'll stop there because I don't want to get into too much spoilers here. This is just a generic view, but there's just so many cool things happen. And if you've read Malazan, if you know what I'm talking about, I think Memories of Ice is a fan favorite book. It is really fun so far. It's just a segment I'm on is maybe a little bit slow because we're talking some politics, but we've had some great scenes at the Animator Ray lately, so a lot to look forward to, and I'm looking forward to landing the ship here in book 3 and coming into a conclusion. So with that said, hopefully finishing that this week. So I think reading time on Audible, it's still around 7 hours of, even sped up 1.5, 1.7 speed, which I vary based on what I'm doing. It's still around 7 hours to complete. I try and get at least an hour a day. So it's still almost a full week with the long reading sessions on the weekend. So going to try and finish it up this week, of course, because I guess what's on the horizon, that's the other thing I can talk about in the book segment. I do have Nemesis Games, the next book of The Expanse, come through via the library. So thank you, local library, for the hold. And looking forward to getting back to the world of The Expanse and catching up on that, which is also a monster book. So I am trying to get dedicated and finish up Malazan so that I can take the next epic, not fantasy, but epic sci-fi story with The Expanse, Nemesis Games, and get back to that world. So two great reads ahead, and that's the book segment. So what else am I watching? So this originally, why I started doing this was to do movie reviews. So yes, I'll talk about the movies. We only watched 4 this weekend, and they're all fairly good. Some hits, some misses, I guess, out of 4. So I think maybe like 3 out of 4 are pretty good. So to start things off, we watched Tron Ares, which was rather good, I think. Of course, it had its shortcomings, of course. The plot, the Jared Leto plot where he's Ares, he's back. That didn't so much, but I like the general world building, the special effects. Yeah, I'm talking about the plot. The plot was bad, yes. It was a little hard to comprehend everything that's going on with the bad guys and bringing the Tron world to the world, but it was fun to see everything. I'm a sucker for Tron movies. I loved the original back in the day growing up, and then Tron Legacy was pretty cool. I've seen it a few times, just rewatching it, putting it on in the background because it's just a solid, just fun kind of background popcorn flick. And then Tron Ares, it's okay. Plot wise, I'd rag on the plot. Plot was maybe not so great, but it's just fun being in the world. I like the concepts that we see here. I guess my only critique, besides yeah, just some of the inconsistencies of the plot is how it only loosely connected to the previous films. There are some cool cameos. I like seeing the retro light cycles was super fun. Seeing the light cycles in the modern times was fun, but the retro light cycles was was very entertaining when Ares has to go into the original grid. So I love that Easter egg. That was a fun kind of nod back to the original film. But the characters, like what happened to, I mean, other than the short preview of Flynn, what happened to Flynn's son from the second movie? It's like the second movie didn't exist, but we did get that connection back to the original Tron. So some good, some bad, but overall it was a solid, just normal, like blockbuster movie. I guess I don't have very high expectations for Disney lately. After that, I'm gonna maybe talk about this as almost like a double header because they're sort of related in plot, but not really. So what we watched first was One Battle After Another. This is, yeah, the very highly regarded and anticipated movie because it's Thomas Paul Anderson, right? If I'm saying the name right. His latest film with Leonardo DiCaprio starring. It's an interesting take on, it's hard to even say what it was about. It was about radical extremists and how far you'll go for your ideals. So it's about like a revolutionary, and he's part of Leonardo DiCaprio is part of this revolutionary unit, and he gets involved with his female companion. They become romantically involved, and she goes off and becomes even more radicalized as like things happen. Then we focus on the future. We do like a time jump to Leonardo DiCaprio's character in the future, in his future, where he's kind of like like a drugged out, burnt out old guy revolutionary, but the revolution is still kind of going on in the background, and we follow his misadventures with his daughter, to be a little bit vague and just kind of talk about what was in the trailer. So it was a bit actually like dark humor, but also definitely a critique on modern America because it has the extremists. There's like crackdowns of marginalized people. There's like an immigration crackdown that has like maybe like a quasi ICE parallel going on. So it was yeah, like a good again social commentary. It has some of like the shadowy elite that are behind the scenes. So I enjoyed it. The acting was good. The plot was good. The pacing was good. The music was good. Yeah, I was just locked in and gripped for the whole movie. I thought it was, yeah, really well written and well directed and executed. But then to follow that up, where this is almost like a double header. So after One Battle After Another, we follow Magic Mike on One Battle After Another by watching Roofman. This was again, the trailer for One Battle After Another was great. Super good trailer. Got me really excited for the movie. The trailer for Roofman makes me question whether I watched the same movie. And I was looking up the reviews on Letterboxd, and apparently people love this movie. I did not love Roofman. So Roofman was the miss of the weekend because I could not comprehend what was going through Channing Tatum's character's head when he was making the decisions. He was thinking with the wrong head, to put it mildly, and the whole plot did not make any sense. I mean, I guess it makes sense because he's a flawed character, but I was screaming at the screen, telling his character to make the right choice, dude. Why are you doing this? It does not make sense. So being very frustrated with the characters in this movie, which was that the point of the film, to be frustrated with the characters' choices? It was a bit maddening to watch the characters. The plot involves, at least we thought from the trailer, Channing Tatum's character being a sort of Robin Hood, where he was robbing from corporate America and giving to the poor, but that was not really the case. He was robbing from stores to give to his daughters. He gets caught, and then he escapes from jail because we learned that he's a super genius with this military background, and he's always able to observe everything. He's got the genius level intellect about assessing situations that made him such a good, military person in the past. And then what does he do? He escapes. He's got this great plan. His mind is working, and he decides to yeah, hide out in a Toys R Us and then get a girlfriend because he can't just lay low and let it blow over and escape like he tells himself he needs to do. No, he has to get with his parasocial relationship with someone in the store. He gets a girlfriend, gets a second family, and does not follow through on the plan to. He's a fugitive on the run the whole time. Yeah, the movie was maddening. I did not. I mean, I watched it, but I was frustrated for the characters while watching it. So that was Roofman. And then lastly, another highlight. So to end on a high note, after we watched Roofman, we watched a 2025 film from China, which is Shadow's Edge. This movie I hadn't actually heard about until I saw it scrolling and seeing what was available. And it's the latest film with Jackie Chan. And it was actually surprisingly really well done. Jackie Chan has had a lot of hits or misses lately, mostly on the misses where he's just done these random roles. But this film I felt was a return to form for Jackie Chan. The film had great action sequences, like pretty like amazing fight choreography. It made me feel like this was a Jackie Chan movie. The choreography of the characters was very kinetic. There's a lot of action going on. The plot was decent. It had Jackie Chan in a more senior role where he's a mentor to the younger generation, which again makes sense for his character. He's getting old, but instead of that, he does get plenty of screen time to do cool moves. The younger cast that's in the film are all, they have to be like idols because they're all these like super good looking boy band characters and they play like the antagonists and they have great moves and funny scenes. It reminded me a lot, if anyone's seen this, the Hong Kong movie Gen X Cops, but this time they're the bad guys. So like the cool bad guys are like, paragliding off of the building to escape. It reminded me of it was 90s or early 2000s Gen X Cops, which was a movie I loved in college. But the movie itself, yeah, it just had so much cool action, cool scenes. The old guys get a lot of great action scenes. So also like the big bad guy, main bad guy, he's an older character. He's the other Tony Leung, not the one that's in Infernal Affairs, the other Tony Leung. But he gets some like really cool scenes. He's like the godfather figure for the bad guys, and he has some amazing knife moves. He fights off, I think, like 200 cops or bad guys in this one scene. It's just crazy. He has a lot of great scenes. Jackie Chan, as an older actor, has a lot of great scenes. The young cast has great scenes. There's just so much action, so much going on. I highly, highly recommend if you're looking for a good action kind of police caper drama in the vein of a police story or new police story, like Jackie Chan's last reboot of that series. This felt like new police story. But yeah, it was fun. It was good. Highly recommend Shadow's Edge. So those are the 4 movies we watched this weekend and the one book that I'm still reading and hasn't been finished this week. To wrap this up and what I've been watching, we're still watching Pluribus on Apple TV. I think episode 3 was rather slow. The first 2 were good. First one I was drawn into it. Second one, a bit slower as we expanded the world, but it was interesting to expand and learn about some of the other characters in the Pluribus universe. But here in episode 3, was reading the reviews afterwards, and it's supposedly a slow burn episode, which apparently is a thing for Vince Gilligan, the producer, also from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. So maybe this is on par for his types of shows. But to me, it was a rather slow episode where I guess we got some like character development stuff, but not a lot of world building or advancing the plot too much. So still sticking around and hoping episode 4 kicks back up. But that's really the only thing we're watching, other than, of course, a few anime here and there, but waiting for the next season and the new year and what's going to come in the winter/spring next season of anime. So thanks for watching this update of what I watched and read. And if you have any other recommendations for things to watch, things to read, I will add it to my TBR and TBW to be watch list. So thanks for watching and have a great day.